So this is a little different than what we do normally.
Yeah, very different than what we do
We
normally.
know all the cool kids have podcasts, so...
And who doesn't want to be a cool kid, right?
Right, cool kids are awesome.
It's, you know... Wait, are we talking about cool kids like cool people, or cool kids like kids left out in the street during winter?
No, like people who are awesome.
Okay.
Frozen kids.
Also, we have our ghost.
Yeah, our ghost is here. But, hey, first podcast.
First podcast, yeah. If you're listening, thank you for listening, and go all the way through.
And also, if you're listening
and
but
like
not watching, please start watching as well. We need you.
Yeah, yeah.
But, so, hey, video games?
Video games. So what do you think of this,
But before all that, we just want to make sure we know where you guys are. This is, of course, Shibuya Station today.
And this is Madman Mike.
And, you know...
The ghost of Kazakh Smoog
is... apparitioning his position all over the place.
He's,
reality.
He's even got a sheet on his head. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's just... Alright.
Coming to a con panel near you. So, yeah. So, this is one thing that's been kind of irking me most recently. What do you think of this whole new Mortal Kombat situation? Like, the whole Johnny and Sonya having a kid and that being part of the game. Like, personally, I think it's kind of horseshit.
Okay.
I think it's kind of lazy.
Okay, I just want you to understand, though. This is Mortal Kombat.
I know.
And a lot of stupid stuff happens in Mortal Kombat.
Well, I mean, it's not Killer Instinct.
Some people could lynch you for that one.
Oh, I love Killer Instinct. I have it on Super Nintendo. I have Gold on the N64. I love that shit, but there's something to be said about a fighting game where a giant cyborg with the soul of an Indian chief can fight a raptor.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome, but it's fucking weird.
I don't know. Those 165 hit combos.
No, I'm talking Killer Instinct.
Yeah, I know.
Not whatever the hell they put on the X-Bone. There's nothing quite like taking a series and dumbing it down to mashing 4 buttons and rolling the analog stick.
Well, there you go.
But, back to Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat. Where do I begin with you? I like you. I like
in the 1980s?
Yeah. Yeah, when I was not alive. But, as far as it goes currently with what's going on with Mortal Kombat...
Currently, yeah.
It's still goofy and stupid, so I don't have too much of a problem with it.
Yeah.
But I just want them to settle on what exactly Johnny Cage's personality is, because it hops all over the place.
Yeah, no, from not just the games, but to the films that are much debated whether they were good or not. I personally enjoyed the first one.
Yeah.
It was dumb, but I loved it.
Yeah,
kind of like the Street Fighter movie.
Yeah, we're talking about the movies and most recently Mortal Kombat Legacy.
Mortal Kombat Legacy, which is what I was about to talk about.
Everything Mortal Kombat right now.
Right now, it's happening. Ready? Open your ear holes for knowledge.
Okay.
So, Mortal Kombat Legacy... If you guys don't know what it is, it's all on YouTube. You can watch both series in probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours at most. If you like Mortal Kombat, I highly recommend watching it. At least the first season.
Yeah, at least the first, when it was good.
When it was good. They did something in that season that I thought impossible. They actually made Johnny Cage a likable character.
He was super likable.
I mean, like, he was still a D-bag. Yeah. Right? But he was a D-bag that kind of had a reason to be one.
Well, he had a pretty good reason.
I'm going to try and be as spoiler-free as possible here.
It's like, out of all of Legacy, I think, top 3?
Top 3 episodes.
In order.
Yeah.
Would be Cage.
Cage for sure at number 3.
Raiden.
And
Liu Kang.
And, Liu Kang is season 2.
Oh,
well, if it's just season 1, I'd have to go Cage, the Scorpion and Sub-Zero episode.
Yeah. Oh my God. How did I forget?
Oh man, there's some really cool stuff. Like I got them on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And one of the special features talks about the fight scene that Scorpion and Sub-Zero have on the snow. And it was so fucking ridiculous. They actually had to put like slats of plywood on the ground because when they were trying to do all the flips and stuff, the snow was sinking in too deep and they'd fall on their back. And that whole thing, I believe, was shot in a weekend.
Wow.
All of it. From like Friday to Sunday.
That's really nice. That's really good.
Yeah, I was surprised. It all came from this trailer on YouTube, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah.
This guy was just threw some money together. He got
like I think I remember
Jerry Ryan.
Yeah, where they pitched Reptile as like a cannibalistic serial killer or something.
Yep.
And I was like, this is goofy.
It was goofy enough.
Like, at first I was like, wow, this is really dumb. And then as it stewed and sat on my mind, I'm like,
Scorpion.
Yeah, it kind of works.
His eyes go all white at the end. I'm like, okay, so there's still some of that mysticism.
Yeah.
But yeah, season 1 had a lot of really good episodes. Season 2 kind of goes up and down. What I thought was really cool though Because like I said earlier, I liked the first movie.
Oh yeah.
They bring back the guy who played Shang Tsung in the first Mortal Kombat movie to play him in season 2.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, they also bring back serious D-bag Johnny, and it was such a downgrade for me in writing.
Yeah,
for that
because
character.
they gave you what Johnny's whole story was like. How long would you say that was in the first season? Like,
I think it was one episode.
Yeah, it was one episode, and it like
20 minutes.
Yeah, 20 minutes. That's the time like that I was looking for, and like you by the end of it, but not even the end of it, but like after the first quarter of the episode, you're like, man, Johnny has it rough.
Yeah, like
I can feel for this guy.
It kind of sucks. And he gets taken advantage of, and it's complete horseshit. And then he does exactly what you want him to.
Yes, and it's so satisfying to see.
And it's like the episode ends on a perfect note.
Yeah, it's just.
And then when season 2 starts, now I know there was a bunch of shit with casting.
Oh yeah.
The original guy that got to play Johnny was in some sort of Disney contract. He's on one of the shows on what's that fucking channel? DXD or something? I know.
DXD.
Disney
XD.
Disney XD.
Yeah. Okay. So it is DXD.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with the manga of the same name.
No, not to be confused. I think he's on some show there. Or I don't really watch the channel, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But I know that it's had something to do with Disney, so they had to get a new actor.
And then got the guy that knows Cage as Douchebag Cage.
Yeah, and he to his credit, he plays Douchebag Cage pretty well.
But, having the setup of good guy Johnny, then switch to that is just terrible.
It was a terrible switch, not appreciated at all.
Okay. But as you stated before, Johnny Cage in the new Mortal Kombat games being married to Sonya, or
actually they're
divorced.
Yeah,
the
newest trailer, the Welcome to the Cage Family or some shit.
Ugh.
It shows Casey Cage in all the back of her head shaved glory. And no, seriously, she has like a ponytail, but then like the back section behind her ears, is
so
all shaved.
The thing, and then the thing,
and I'm like, why? Are you trying to show your father's short hairstyle and your mother's?
I knew
hairstyle?
a chick in high school that cut her hair like that.
I don't get it. I'm like, if they're trying to show the two different parents' styles in one character, why not just give her long brown hair?
Yeah, something.
Right? Because, Johnny's got the brown hair, Sonya's got the bleach blonde hair.
Or like a pixie cut or something.
Like a pixie cut or something. I think in the E3 shots, maybe, don't, lynch me on this, I think she had shorter hair when they first showed her. I'm
Honestly,
not 100% certain, though.
I'm trying to keep as blind to the new Mortal Kombat stuff as possible, other than what I initially know.
Yeah.
Because, lately, game hype hasn't been doing anything for anyone but causing serious disappointments.
Yeah, just big letdowns.
So, like, as far as I know, if it's like, 5 more characters released, it's like, well, it's not really that big a mystery who you're going to release.
Yeah, no,
it's Mortal
honestly,
Kombat.
That's been pissing me off so much. And they're like, oh yeah, Raiden's going to be in this one. I'm like, yeah, no shit.
Like, I'd be surprised if Raiden wasn't in it.
Yeah.
Or freaking,
no Jade this time.
Doesn't somebody have her moveset?
I'm not entirely sure on that, honestly.
Because I feel like that's what they're gonna do. Like,
well, I'm also fairly certain that with this game, there's gonna be character expansions.
Oh yeah,
or DLCs rather.
Well, there are. There's 4. From what I know, there's gonna be 4 DLC characters.
Yeah,
but they're gonna be like not main Mortal Kombat characters. It's gonna be franchise tie-ins or like special characters.
Yeah,
but each of them are gonna have like a shit ton of skins.
Well, I know. Yeah, I know that. So far, they've announced Predator.
Yeah.
And Jason Voorhees.
Funny story about the Predator one. Back when people were starting to talk about Mortal Kombat X, I was just like, Predator's in it, right? Without them like saying or hinting or confirming anything to Predator being in it. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until like a couple of weeks ago where they said, yeah, Predator's in it. And it's just like, oh shit, I could have sworn I heard like months before that Predator was going to be in it.
Yeah. Well, there was rumors for a while of random characters going to be in there. What's your take on that, by the way?
On what? Voorhees and all that?
Yeah, like, I mean, way back. I'm not sure if this was the first game to do it, but it's the first game I ever dealt with that had done it. Way back in Soul Calibur years. Yeah. In Soul Calibur 2 on the GameCube, their additional character was Link.
Yeah.
And in PS2 it was Heihachi from Tekken. And in Xbox it was Spawn. And at the time, I thought that was kind of interesting, but I feel like slapping these characters in there is just really kind of bland.
Okay, like certain games, yeah, but
like, did you play the Soul Calibur with the fucking Star Wars characters?
No, I saw that and laughed. I was like, this
Like,
does
I have,
not fit Soul Calibur
I have the
at all.
Soul Calibur 4 shirt.
Yeah.
Right, and on the back, one shoulder is Vader and one is Siegfried. And I'm like, I don't know how to feel about this. I like Vader, I like Siegfried, I don't need them together.
Like, okay, so we've already established that the universe Mortal Kombat is set in.
It's kind of wacky.
Yeah, it's kind of wacky. You know, stuff like magic and super science happens.
Also, very slippery vomit if you're a Bo Rai Cho player, which is rumored. He may be coming back for Mortal Kombat 10.
I'd be fine with Bo Rai Cho in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, he was kind of a funny guy.
Yeah, like, you need a funny character. But, like I said, it's like all this wacky shit already happens in it. So tossing in guys like Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees.
All right,
and
putting
the
this out
Predator.
there, if Jason Voorhees is in this game and Freddy isn't,
Yeah.
I'm going to be so pissed.
Yeah, because they had Freddy in the last
They
one.
had Freddy
didn't
in
they?
the last one, yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure
it wasn't Robert Englund Freddy, but...
I mean, I'm sure Ed Beasy, that's Ed Boon for all of you, will toss him in at some point.
I hope so, and I really hope that we don't get another Mortal Kombat
We'll
with
get
DC
those
skin.
Freddy Jason dream matches that everybody's been jerking off to for the past decade.
You know, that movie, when it came out, it was it was a hit or miss with a lot of people.
It was a total hit for me.
I
I'm not gonna
loved
lie.
it. I love Freddy, so when...
How can you not love a man who shapeshifts into a centipede to smoke out of a hookah? How can you not love that?
It's pure gold.
Yeah.
Pure gold. Freddy has... I loved when they finally realized that he was meant to be funny in the movies.
Yes.
Like, because the first movie was like, oh, he's so scary. And I'm like, well, he's not really scary. He kind of makes me laugh.
It's like, that's the switch with 80s horror movies, which we'll get to later in this episode. I assure you of that.
Yeah, well, we'll get into all sorts of movies.
Okay. But, you know, other than that, I've got no problems with whatever they want to do with Mortal Kombat. I mean, NetherRealm, for as odd as it's gonna sound, even after they put out Armageddon, NetherRealm has been keeping fighting games in the US alive with this bullshit. It's like, I don't know how they've done it. I'm not gonna check numbers, but people are still getting excited and hyped about fighting games by NetherRealm. And I think that's a good sign.
That's alright, I guess. I'm like, one of the first fighting games I have a recollection of playing was Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
on the Super
everyone
Nintendo.
does.
Right?
It's like,
on the Super Nintendo with no blood.
Like, I didn't own a Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
But I had friends that did, and the N64 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So when I went over to their house, it's like, oh, hey, play Mortal Kombat. It's like, what am I doing?
Did you ever play Mortal Kombat Black Dynamite Edition?
No.
Like, straight up. It was called Special Forces. You play as Jax, and you, like, drive around in a Cadillac. And it's like a beat-em-up.
That was a
What is-
standalone.
Is
Yeah,
that
from
the
the
first
90s.
fucking true crime game? What's going on?
It was ridiculously funny. I love that game. It is so bad. I have to
bet.
stress.
It
This
was
is
the 90s.
this is
They
like
worked
a-
with what they had.
it's a terrible game, man, but it is awesome.
FMVs and CGI.
Oh, there were so many random spin-off games in the Mortal Kombat series. Well, maybe not so many, but there was a few. I remember that one specifically, and there was what the fuck was it called? It was on the PlayStation and the N64, I think. It was Mortal Kombat: The Sub-Zero Chronicles.
Oh, that.
It was like a really shitty side-scrolling platformer game, and I never beat it. I tried to. I just couldn't. I'm like, this is not Mortal Kombat. I'm sorry.
I think, like, YouTube's got footage of that, and I've sat through and watched it.
Oh,
And
it was
it's-
a weird fucking game.
Yeah.
But I guess that's kind of what we're getting at here. Mortal Kombat's always been kind of wacky in that regard.
Yeah, so as long as the goofiness they want to do with it
Mm-hmm.
fits in this big, goofy, stupid universe they've set up,
Yeah.
I'm perfectly fine with it.
I'm a little worried about throwing in other franchise characters.
Just oversaturation.
Because we've already got two, right? And I feel like there's more coming they haven't told us yet.
Probably.
And
Okay, the real question is, would having Spawn in this game upset you?
okay, so it's interesting that you brought that up because I talked about him earlier in the Soul Calibur games.
Yeah.
And now I had Soul Calibur on the GameCube,
Yeah.
right? But I always wanted to get an Xbox so I could play as Spawn, right? And I did eventually get to do it, and it was kind of fun. I think Spawn would be one of a few franchise characters that might be able to work.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Like, within its own odd sort of canon.
Spawn he's pretty much ripped out of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
It's like they can just reskin him, give him a different name.
It's a whole, it's just right there. So I think it'd be kind of cool But at the same time, it draws back to the same problem of just throwing in franchise characters.
Just for the sake of
Just
money.
for the sake of money.
Which happens far too often this generation.
One of the things I've always wanted, since I was probably 15, was a fighting game based solely around horror movie characters.
You mean like Terror Dome?
I was about to get there, Terradrome. It's
or if you really want to hate your life for a while, you could always just get Mugen and put them in.
No, I don't want to do that. I played that a little bit in high school.
Everybody played Mugen in high school.
Yeah.
Am I pronouncing it right? I'm not sure. I don't really care.
Is it Mujin? But Terradrome is fucking hard. The controls are not too bad. The combos are really simple. I mean, basically, they finished. They're done. They're not doing anything with it anymore.
Yeah. Not gonna toss in more horror movie franchise characters.
Well, they've got a tall man. They've got Ghostface, Maniac Cop. Michael, Jason, Freddy, Chucky.
Yep. They've got Candyman. Is Pumpkinhead in it?
I think he is.
I want to say he's in it.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to boot that up when I get home. It's freeware, by the way, so if you're interested, just go Google it, and there it is. It's not a very big game either. It's really hard, though, so be warned. The computer is just fucking evil. Which I guess makes sense, because they are horror movie characters.
Oh.
But, so, that's about as close as I've ever gotten to that experience. And most recently, the Halloween Blu-ray collection has given me hope that something like that may actually come from an actual studio someday.
Oh, yeah?
When I was growing up, right, between grades 6 and 8 was when I really started to hit my horror movie prime. And I loved the Halloween franchise. It used to freak me the fuck out as a kid. But as I got older, I started to like it more. And I remember back then, I kept looking for a box set. Like a DVD, VHS box set of Halloween.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find one anywhere. And I later found out that's because there were so many different companies involved.
Yeah.
That the paperwork would be horrendous. But most recently, for the 35th anniversary, they did it on Blu-ray. They actually managed to get it done.
Well, I guess enough people are going why aren't you getting your shit together? Let's go.
Well, I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street has their own box set. I think Friday the 13th has one. Texas Chainsaw has one.
Probably, yeah.
Fucking Leprechaun has one.
Oh.
And that's, again, we've talked about Leprechaun before.
Yeah.
It's so wacky. Leprechaun 3, go watch it.
Go watch it again. And
go
if you
watch
still
it again.
don't get it, watch it two more times. And if you still don't get it, watch it 2 more times.
Yeah. Just watch it until you understand it, until you feel it, and then you want to have a potato latent rap battle.
Yeah.
So all these franchises are getting DVD box sets, Blu-ray box sets, and I guess it finally just occurred to these people that, hey, why not Halloween? Yeah. I mean, it's a franchise that we love dearly right up until Rob Zombie got his hands on it.
Oh, the venom is real.
Oh, yeah, I was really fucking angry about that. I was so angry about that movie. Fun story here. I went to see it opening night. Right, I was the first ring of people into the theater. On my way out, I was so upset that I started harassing people in line who were wearing original Halloween shirts.
Oh.
I walked up and I said, "You love Halloween?" He goes, "Yeah." I'm like, "Then go home." I got into an argument with the manager, and he gave me a free voucher to go see a new movie.
Oh, that's great.
So fuck, I hate that movie. I'm disgusted with the fact that they're included in the Blu-ray box set.
You could always just burn them.
Yeah, but then I have an empty slot in my Blu-ray.
You could always put in your own fan-made version of it.
You know what? That might be that would be a better movie with like a $4 shoestring budget and like a handy cam.
Something.
Those movies are terrible.
We'll shoot it on GoPro and like the worst filter possible, and there you go.
There you go. It's the best. The next one, not much has been revealed about it.
Yeah.
Whether it's going to be another reboot or a continuation.
Well, let's take a look back on what we're doing right now with the, when it comes to everything in the world of entertainment. Reboots are happening.
Reboots are happening left, right, and center.
Yeah, you can't escape it.
I'm honestly hoping for either a reboot or just a remake of the first movie. Now, I've only seen one faithful remake in all of my time, right? But let me just finish what I was saying before. The new movie is going off to the directors from Saw.
All right.
From, I think, 4, 5, and 6. I think those were the ones they did. I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong out there, people. But it's just been passed off to somebody else.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was all the wackiness that is Mortal Kombat. And there's obviously more that we should really talk about, so I'm just gonna put this out there right now. What the fuck's up with all these HD remasters? Could somebody please tell me? Okay, this isn't just a straight up hatred of remasters, because sometimes they're necessary. I get that. I get there's region locks and region specific stuff that happens. Not everybody can get the full package. You gotta import. But since we're now living in a time where most of this stuff is just there to access, I really don't see why we need to have games that were pretty good and stand up well on their own, like on the last gen or 2 gens ago.
Yep.
Now being brought out for current gen when there's not even anything really good out on current gen.
I honestly, I can't find a reason to defend it. Personally, I think it's fucking retarded.
Oh, it is. It's so stupid.
It's bottom line stupid. And the worst part is, it's actually working. Like, I know people who played and beat The Last of Us on PS3.
Yeah.
But then went, this one's prettier.
Okay.
And shelled out, was it like $60? $60, $70 bucks?
It's still...
To buy it again.
Yeah, it's like, the only reason I'm even gonna buy The Last of Us is because my pre-order on the last gen fell through, so I never got to play it.
Yeah.
But, now that I own a PS4, and I'm like, well, I might as well just get it on the 4. Mm-hmm. But if I didn't have a 4, I'd be getting it on the previous gen still.
I honestly, even if I hadn't played it,
yeah,
and I had a PS3, I have a PS3, but if I had a PS4 with that, I still wouldn't buy it on PS4.
Yeah?
Simply because, like, I've seen side-by-side images. Yeah, it looks a little prettier. Yeah, it comes with the DLC. But at the same damn time, I can go pick up the PS3 game
for dirt cheap,
and
buy the DLC to offset the cost. Yeah, I get you.
So I'm like, it's still less than what they're asking for the HD update.
Some games, remember the first grap of this where Sleeping Dogs got put back out?
Yeah,
on
what
HD?
The hell?
You already had a definitive edition of it on the PS3 and Xbox 360.
And don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah, it's...
a lot more than I thought I was going to, honestly.
It's True Crimes China, and I love it.
Yeah. When I saw the live-action trailer for it, the first time I saw it, I thought it was a fucking movie. And I was like, yeah! And then I went and did some research, and I'm like, oh, it's a game. Yeah!
Even better.
And then it came out, and I started playing it, and I was like, oh, this is alright. And then about 30 minutes in, I was like, this is fucking great. Did it need that many editions, though? Does it need so many re-releases?
No.
Definitive editions are fine, as long as they're on the same generation, in my opinion. It's like a game comes out, and it comes out, everyone buys it, they play it, you put out the DLC, most people buy the DLC.
Like, the first grap that really wants it will buy it. But then...
And then later, it's kind of a money-seeking ploy with no way to, tint it. Just re-releasing the game with the DLC bundled.
Yeah. Like, I can understand if, your game comes out, it does great, you release DLC, it does great, and then at some point you're just like, hey, there's a couple of bugs and things that we can improve, and we've got all this DLC now, and it's been in the market long enough that we've made what we need to make back, and more.
Yep.
Why don't we just fix the bugs, re-release it with all the DLC for the people that couldn't afford it the first time around on this gen, then leave it at that.
I've bought...
Like, if it's on the current gen, I'm fine with a re-release that fixes bugs and tosses in the extra stuff. But if going from one gen to another...
Yeah. And
when you already have a definitive on the last one, right on the tail end, at that point, don't even bother releasing a definitive on the last gen if you're just gonna
put
shell
it in
out
the next
more.
One.
Yeah.
I've bought Fallout 3. I bought that, the Game of the Year edition, when it came with all the DLC. Fallout New Vegas, I initially, I got the collector's edition, and that was a fucking hassle, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
I paid for the collector's edition.
Yeah, I know. I've heard this story, but our lovely viewers haven't, so regale them.
So I pay for my collector's edition, and I show up to pick it up, and the guy behind the counter is like, oh, hi, how are you doing? I'm like, pretty good. Here's my receipt. Let's get my fucking game. I want to go home and play Fallout New Vegas. Right? I'm not here to be your friend. But no, I was just like, okay, here's my receipt. Let's get this over with. So he goes, okay, cool. And he rings it up, and he goes, okay, one Fallout New Vegas. And I'm like, yep. And he turns around, and he opens the case, and he pulls out the standard edition, and puts the money difference on top of it, and hands it to me. And I went, what the fuck is this? I ordered the collector's edition. He goes, oh, it's not what it says here. And I go, how much is the collector's edition? And he rings it up, and it's the exact amount. And I go, yeah, that's because I pre-ordered the collector's edition. Why the fuck would I overpay for the standard edition? He goes, well, I don't know what to tell you, sir. And I'm like, what you're going to tell me is you're going to get your manager because somebody fucked up. And sure enough, the manager came down, and he said, okay, well, here's what we'll do. We'll call you when we have one.
Oh.
And he called me 4 or 5 days later, and they did find one for me. So I did get it in the end. But what I was getting at was I bought one DLC. I bought the what was the first one? The Sierra Madre.
Okay.
What the fuck was that called? Dead Money?
Oh,
Something like that? Yeah. I bought that, didn't like it, didn't buy the rest of them, and then the price of the game plummeted. And then they released the Ultimate Edition. So I walked in with my old copy and traded it in and bought the Ultimate Edition. And it still ended up being cheaper than buying the DLC. So that was alright. But another one was Batman Arkham City. I didn't even buy that until the collector's or the definitive edition or the fuck they call it came out with all the DLC. I was like, no, I'm not even going to bother.
For the Batman games, you wait because they are going to release a version that has everything.
Yeah, I didn't even bother. I waited, I got it. It came with all the skin packs.
Came with Robin's missions.
Came
Nightwing in the challenge mode.
Yeah, Nightwing in challenge mode, the Harley DLC. It even came with a download code for Batman Year 1. So I'm like, alright, that's kind of cool, I guess. But just re-releasing them, especially Sleeping Dogs is the perfect example. Like, just to reiterate that. They put out a definitive edition at the tail end of the PS3 lifespan, even though technically it's still going.
Oh, yeah.
And then they hop it right to PS4.
Like,
I mean, like, they're if you're trying to appeal to the fan base of your console, right, that's one thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you're a fan of Sony, right, you have a PS3. If you liked Sleeping Dogs, you probably already bought the definitive edition.
Yeah,
or
I will,
bought all the DLC.
I'm looking at my definitive edition of it right now.
Yeah, it's right there, right? So why the fuck, if you just bought it for the console you already know, love, and like, would you want to buy it again for the new console?
Yeah.
Like, within a few months of each other.
Like, there's nothing new added.
It's the same damn game with slightly better textures.
It drives me nuts, this generation, that we have gotten we've gotten a bunch of sequels, a bunch of remakes, and nothing works. It's like I haven't played a game that doesn't require a day to week one patch lately.
Well, also that you were saying Bloodborne has that game-breaking glitch.
Yeah, Bloodborne came out this week, and so far they've found a bug which, 2 console gens ago would have been QA'd out. Yeah. That just flat out stops progression.
Well, I think that because of the generation before this current one.
With all the online access.
With all the online access, AAA companies are taking the money out of QA testing just because they don't have to anymore. They can get less people to test and simply just put a patch out for it later.
Even more so, they can just get the players to do the QA for them.
Yeah.
Hey, I've run into this bug. Fucking fix it.
Have you played Inquisition?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
I have seen NPC characters fall out of the sky in the background while I'm talking to people.
My favorite is what I call the Pop and Lockathon.
Oh.
Basically, I was walking around and I went to talk to somebody, and the talk button, jump button, right? So I hit A, and he jumped a little bit and started talking to him, and his arms went out like he was being crucified, but like bent at the elbow, and he started popping and locking, and his feet were pointed at the ground. And he was just popping and locking and sliding along. He wasn't even walking anymore.
That's great.
I went all the way across the map like that.
I have had like one that I can consistently recreate.
Yeah,
is how X is your do everything button.
Yep.
Or on the PS4.
On the PS4, yeah.
So you killed the guy and they're halfway across, like they're a decent distance away from you.
Yeah.
But your little loot icon pops up. So you jump and you hit loot again, and you just jump right on top of their body.
Yep.
Just from a fair distance, you just right on top of their body and loot them.
Just so you guys know,
funny.
I have it on 360.
Yeah.
And Shibuya has it on PS4.
Yes, Shibuya Station J has Xbox Xbone.
Yeah.
And PS4 currently in his possession, which is how we're able to bring you such magnanimous footage.
Yeah, and fun. So, but There are so many problems with Inquisition, like from rendering issues
Not
to frame rate issues.
Not just Inquisition, but just all of the games recently.
Pretty much anything that's come out.
Games that were fixed are now having problems. Like the fucking Halo Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, that was a shit show.
Yeah, it was an unmitigated shit show. And it's like, it wasn't even like with the base game itself.
Yeah.
It was just with like the feature that people bought it for, which is I'm gonna wreck other people in multiplayer. Like, nobody buys that game nowadays. Nobody buys a game for the single player anymore unless it's like fantasy or something really intriguing.
That really disappoints me.
There's so much heavy focus on multiplayer nowadays.
And you know what? Multiplayer's fine. It's great.
Yeah.
I have this single solitary belief, and maybe it's coming from a different era of gaming, the PS1, the Super Nintendo, stuff
Yeah.
like that. I just, to me, if you're playing a multiplayer game, the guy you're playing with should be sitting next to you. And the reason for that is so when he fucks up, you can hit him.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
I understand.
If you and your buddy, right, live in different cities, different countries, you work in different places, fine. Online is great. It's awesome. I really don't have that much of a problem with it.
Yeah.
My problem is that companies have foregone
Couch co-op.
Couch
local
co-op.
co-op.
Just for multiplayer.
Yeah.
Like, I have played games where they would have done fantastic if they had local co-op. But they don't.
Like, it's...
And then there's games like Double Dragon Neon, which are the exact opposite. They have no online multiplayer.
Yeah,
and only couch co-op.
That was a fun 10-hour stint to do that game.
That was a great game.
That was a good birthday.
I'm still playing it.
That was a good birthday, if I remember correctly.
I still play that game.
Show up at your place early as hell for no good reason.
Yep.
Nobody's gonna be there for another 6 hours, and we just toss on Double Dragon.
Yep. Storm the shit, broke Skullmageddon's face. Where's the ground? But
no, I totally get it. And, like, you're watching vids, and you're trying to figure out, well, why did this happen? And you see, it's when online capabilities came in last gen,
yep.
people stopped focusing on the game and more on how can we get other people to play against each other in the game.
Well, it's like...
And that's not bad.
No,
by no
competition's
means.
Fun.
Competition's great. Competition's
well,
fine.
You and I, and, a lot of our friends, we all love fighting games.
Yeah.
And that's sole competition.
Yeah, it's just pure, unadulterated competition.
That's it.
But, I feel like they're too heavily focused on getting other people to use their online service.
Yeah.
And just leaving the actual game itself by the wayside.
Yep. Well, like, recently, there was a flash sale on the PS3 where, like, a bunch of shit went on sale.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was pretty good, actually. A lot of games I already owned, unfortunately. Because basically my PS3 is a glorified PS1 emulator. But with a horrible selection because PSN just has Sony has just dropped the ball on putting up classic titles.
They need to fix that.
I mean, how the hell can you not have the Silent Hill games on? I mean, that HD collection was terrible. Like, that was just straight bad. But and there's a little fun fact. That was back when I didn't hate HD collections. Like when that one came out, the ones around it I didn't hate. That one's disgusting. But, like, there was a Devil May Cry one that came with, like, the first 3 games. And it was the special edition of Devil May Cry 3.
So
you could play as Virgil.
Which you had to buy separately.
Yeah.
The first time when Devil May Cry 3 came out.
So, I mean, that was really cool. They had the Metal Gear Solid one, which, for if we have any American viewers, in Canada here, it actually came with Peace Walker.
Yeah.
I know down there, you guys had to buy it separate, if I remember correctly. You guys only got 2 and 3. We got 2, 3, and Peace Walker. So, for me, and they were about $29 a piece. So it was about $10 a game.
Yeah, like the Sly collection. I missed those games on the PS2, and it comes out, and I was like, what, $20, $30 for it? I can't remember.
At the time, the HD collections ran about $29, $30.
Yeah, like it's fine. It
like
came
34
with all the stuff
after tax, something like that.
It was just like when you pick up the orange box.
Yep,
a shit ton of games for a really good price.
Yep, it's for me those HD collections were great because like.
It's like it made sense back then to have an HD collection.
Yeah, these games actually I'm not going to say the word needed it or the words needed it because that's kind of.
But they were looking a bit
personal. Like these are games I wanted to see playable.
Yeah, they were looking a bit dusty. People still liked them. We hadn't gotten a real nice new iteration of it.
Well, the fact was for a lot of them though, they weren't even really fully HD. Like the Devil May Cry ones.
Yeah, like there was still cutscene.
Yeah,
there was cutscene issues. Like. The cutscenes in the Sly collection are really fuzzy.
Yeah, but being able to play them again was kind of fun. And I think that worked really well because there was such a gap. Because it wasn't like the PS2 and the Xbox ended.
Yeah.
And then the Xbox 360 and the PS3 came out, and they were releasing games that had just finished in the PS2 and Xbox. Now, I'm sure there was a couple of titles that had that happen to.
Yeah.
But I'm going to... Because I know, for example, Hitman Blood Money was on fucking everything.
Oh, God, was it?
I have owned it. I still own it on PS2 and Xbox 360.
But, yeah, like, I totally see what you're saying.
But those HD collections for that generation came towards the end of the last generation's lifespan.
Yeah,
so we had a good 6 years to miss those games.
Yeah, totally.
Right? And then they come out, they're well priced. At $30, it's $10 a game. You look at the PlayStation Store, PS2 games, around $10 a game.
Yeah, that's totally fair. That's fine.
Right?
But the whole fact that like you're releasing games that are still looking good and still fresh in people's minds.
Still in recent memory.
For a lot of money. It's like it shouldn't happen, and it's happening because, game companies just know how to market suckers into buying shit.
Yeah, okay, so here's a question for you.
Alright.
Last 12 months, right? What was your worst title?
My worst title?
The game that you played you just hated.
That I just hated.
Yep.
Wow.
Like start to finish.
Like new game, old game?
Anything you played in the last 12 months.
That I just, fucking hell. I've been working so much, so I don't really have anything go-to right now.
Yeah.
But, I don't have worst game I've played, but I do have biggest disappointment.
Alright.
Sunset Overdrive.
Really?
I initially started out liking that game.
Yep.
I still haven't beaten it.
No, I just lost the drive for it?
I am maybe 3/4 of the way through, maybe. Might be over a little half. Just whatever fun it had, my eyes have gone glazed over to, and I'm just like, there's no drive to finish it.
It's just kind of, it's there.
Yeah, it's just there. I can pick it up again if I want. I don't know if I will.
Yeah.
But it's just sort of sitting there on my Xbone. And, which is weird, because comparatively, a game which I probably should have had my eyes glossed over to by now, but I haven't, was I had picked up Second Son on the PS4 when I got my PS4.
Yep.
And I beat that in 4 days because I was just so glued to it and wanted to see how it ended.
I played a lot of the first Infamous.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much it. I played the second one a little bit because that was during the whole credit card debacle with Sony, and they gave it out for free.
Yep.
And I played that for a while. I did like the setting change in 2.
Oh yeah, going from New York to New Orleans?
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool.
It was cool.
But something just wasn't there for me, and I kind of left the series. Yeah, I think most disappointing game in the last 12 months for me was Far Cry 4.
Yeah, then you must not really like the fact that I'm wearing this shirt.
No. Shibuya Station J is wearing a Radio Free Kirat shirt.
It came in a subscription box to a thing that I'm no longer subscribed to, so we're not even going to bother plugging it.
Yeah, no, you lost that, guys. I'm sorry. No. I found the game as a whole to be really disappointing, and I played the shit out of Far Cry 3.
Well, from my understanding, the year that Far Cry 4 came out, which was last year,
yeah,
Ubisoft just sort of released 3 separate climb to the tallest point in the map simulators.
Yeah, within the last few months of the year, they had Rogue, Unity, and Far Cry 4.
And those are all while one of them is a different formula of game, it's still a climb to the tallest point and see the map game.
One of the things that really, really irked me or grinds my gears about Far Cry 4, I almost called it Radio Free Kirat. Fuck your shirt.
I'm just gonna go check my phone.
Yeah, if you're driving and you click the left thumbstick, it'll drive for you. All you have to do, and it works during missions.
That's some bullshit, I find.
I mean, honestly, it will fucking drive for you. I mean, you can interact with the thumbstick if you want to like swerve out of the way of cars, but I even found that sometimes that's not even necessary. You just hold the gas down and click the button. And then I think it even locks your speed in place so you can let go of the gas button.
Are you fucking serious?
Now, I'm not 100% on that because I only put about an hour and a half into the game and then I sold it. Basically, because I had Far Cry 4 and Dragon Age.
That is the shortest amount of time I've ever seen a game turn around. or heard a story of a game turnaround. Personally, my quickest game turnaround was 24 hours with Pokemon Black. Just could not get into that one.
An hour and a half with Far Cry 4, and I brought it out, and I got rid of it, and I bought... actually, I think when I traded that in was when I got Killer Instinct Gold, because my copy has been gone for a very long time. But yeah, I got that back with it, which was a way better purchase in my opinion. What are you looking forward to for any games in the future?
Oh my god. I don't know. Like I said,
we've been talking a lot of shit, so let's give a little bit of hope here.
Things have been looking a bit dismal currently.
Fucking pretty bleak
with gaming. Like I've just been sort of playing Dying Light recently. I've been, I don't really know if this one would count because it's already on PC. Mm-hmm. So I am totally looking forward to Smite on the Xbox. Now I know I gave a lot of bit of bitching about multiplayer on earlier, like a couple minutes ago.
Yep.
But that's when you have something that's single player with multiplayer, and the focus on multiplayer is so heavy that they should have just released a multiplayer game. But this is a straight up multiplayer. So like I'm looking for it to work. Like I'm playing the alpha and it's great.
Yeah.
We hear Jam Joints will probably stream it a bit later today, maybe. I don't know.
Could be.
Stuff's gonna happen. We might be totally drunk.
It could happen. It might not. It could, maybe. There's always possibilities.
But, stuff's gonna happen. But, like, I'm looking forward to when that comes out. Mm-hmm. I won't say I was looking forward to Bloodborne, because the Souls games have consistently kicked my face in and then brutally raped me in front of a public audience. So...
That's kind of the appeal, though, I get from what I can tell.
Yeah. So, like, when they fixed Bloodborne's issue, because there's going to be more.
Oh, of course.
It's only been out for, like, 3 days, maybe?
Yep.
Okay, before I go on, anybody else find it super funny that a game's out for, like, 3 days and they've got a full comprehensive review? Like, that's not enough time to fully explore facets of the game.
Yeah, I feel like reviews... I know some reviewers will get the game in advance.
Yeah, like, super in advance, but, like... Some games, there's just so much to do that 3 days isn't enough. Isn't long enough. Like, I feel reviews are being cranked out far too quickly. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Like, personally for me, if a game were to come out and it wasn't reviewed till I want to say a month.
I would say like minimum 7 days.
See,
because like if you're a game reviewer and that's your job,
yeah,
then you're gonna be playing that game all week.
But like a really long ass fucking game. I don't want a like full review during the same week or month, let alone that it came out. Give me a good, I've sank hours into this. Yeah. Let me tell you what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, there's going to be people that's just like, no, it's like, I want to know if I should buy it right now. It's like, well, whatever happened to just being interested in a product, buying it, and going from there, instead of having somebody tell you to buy it?
Yeah.
That's a lot of what gaming this gen is. It's not so much being interested in something and going out and buying it on your own to see if you like it, or if it holds up to what you've been reading and researching. It's, let me wait till somebody who does this for a living tells me to buy it.
I think a lot of that comes from a certain amount of fear for getting shit games. Because it's not just this generation that's been putting out crap.
Oh, yeah.
The previous generation had a lot of fucking bad games.
Oh, God, it had some garbage.
Right? And so if you went out and you bought those games,
it had some garbage that should not have happened.
So, if you went out and bought these games just because they looked interesting, you thought, hey, it might be fun.
Yeah.
Enough times, you might not want to try that again. I mean, like, personally, I don't buy a whole lot of games anymore.
Yeah, same.
The only games I'm looking forward to, and even though I gave it a bunch of shit at the start of this podcast, is I'm still looking forward to Mortal Kombat. Because
I am.
That's a franchise I've been playing since, one of the very first times I could hold a controller.
Gotta ask, though, what are you going to be getting it on? 4, Bone?
I've heard tales of there being a 360 release.
You gotta get yourself on the next gen at some point. Not now, because it is a barren wasteland, and I've got over $1,000 of stuff just sitting here.
I can't sink that much money into a fucking console. I can't do it. I mean, like, maybe, if there was enough shit that I cared about.
What if it came with a Kinect or a PlayStation Eye?
No.
No?
No? I don't want those.
You don't want the voice
I have my own eyes. They're broken, and I would rather keep them. But I'm looking forward to Mortal Kombat 10 or X, and I'm worried about it, but I'm still looking forward to it. But the biggest game, the one that I'm trying to pay as much attention to as I can, is the next iteration in the Metal Gear franchise.
Phantom Pain.
I'm looking forward to it so much.
You've got a massive Kojima hard-on, don't you?
I really do, and I think I
You gonna show him a Koji Pro or two?
I'm gonna show him a Koji Pro. I think in our Resident Evil playthrough, I mentioned that he and Guillermo del Toro are working on Silent Hills.
Everybody's heard that.
Everybody should know that by now.
With the recent restructuring at Konami.
Yeah.
And restructuring is the most polite way to put this. People are still worried about that one going through.
Yeah. If it doesn't, it will be a stupid fucking move. Just because
Especially after that PT.
I was going to say, when PT came out, everybody went crazy.
right? And then when it came out that it was fucking Silent Hill, I don't give a shit that Norman Reedus is in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I have the guy's autograph. I met the guy. I loved him in the Boondock Saints. I don't really watch The Walking Dead.
He grabbed your ass.
He grabbed my ass. That was kind of funny. I don't really watch The Walking Dead. I did originally, but I kind of grew out of it.
Season 2 lost you?
Well, actually, it was season 3.
Yeah,
Season 2 was really boring, but I sat through it.
Yeah.
And then season 3 came out. I got about 4 or 5 episodes in.
I lost it halfway through season 4.
Yeah, I haven't gone back. I don't care to. But yeah, like, I don't care that he's going to be in it. But hearing that Hideo Kojima, and if you've never played a Metal Gear game, I don't know why, but go pick up.
Hey, do you like movies?
You'll love this.
Do you...
But the plot structures...
I say that as unironically as possible because it is still a really solid game.
Yeah.
But do you like movies?
Do you like movies though? I love the Metal Gear franchise. I've never been amazing at them, but I do have fun with them. And the plot is so wacky, but so grounded in its own way that I really want to see him take his unique style of not leaving as many not leaving as many questions as there were answers.
Yeah.
Right, like you feel at the end that you know more,
but you
than
don't.
You should, but you know fucking nothing.
But you clearly do not.
And I think taking that sort of letting the player think they know what's going on and applying it to the universe of Silent Hill would be fantastic. And with Guillermo del Toro, who loves to do horror films
and giant robots,
and he recently did one about Mexican culture.
Oh, okay.
It was puppets. Like they asked,
Book of Life?
Book of Life.
Was that him?
Yeah, maybe.
That was Del Toro.
I'm trying to. I remember he was in the.
Was it like CG or something?
It was like animated.
Yeah, the last one that came out, Day of the Dead themed, was the Book of Life. With okay, yeah, we'll look that up later, or something. But yeah, you were saying.
I'm pretty sure he was director in the book. I remember I saw an interview for the movie, and he was in it.
All right, but yeah, continue. Or you're busy looking it up because it's burning you that you have to know.
Yeah, it's burning me. No, he didn't direct it.
Oh,
he produced it.
Okay.
Sorry, I had to know. But yeah, but he likes to do horror films, and I believe that's originally why he left The Hobbit, because he was supposed to do it originally.
Oh.
Yeah, Guillermo del Toro was signed on for the first Hobbit film. I think at the time it was just going to be the Hobbit film, not a 3-part on the smallest book in the franchise. But anyway, and then he backed out. I believe he backed out to go do another horror film.
The man knows what he likes, so you can't doubt him on that.
Yeah, having Guillermo del Toro there for the horror aspect, I really hope he's doing creature designs. I really hope Kojima is helming the story, and I'm fairly certain that's why he's there. Yeah. And I really
remember,
genuinely
Kojima's there till December this year, so...
Yeah. And then I really genuinely hope that if the game goes through, if Kojima stays, if it all... swimming. I hope that they pay attention to the source material. Because the one thing that has driven me nuts is seeing Pyramid Head in every fucking game.
Yeah. Or an iteration of Pyramid Head.
Or an iteration of Pyramid Head. Like, when are we going to get Rhombus Face? Like, come on.
No.
It's been pissing me off for a long time. Like, we need a good Silent Hill game.
We need Triangle Cooch. That's what we need.
We need Triangle Cooch. I'm tired of... I think the last Silent Hill game that I played that I actually enjoyed...
Maybe Rhombus Butt, not sure.
Rhombus Butt? Yeah. was Shattered Memories. Which was a reimagining of 1. It was weird, but I remember... I played it with a friend of mine on New Year's, and we had a lot of fun with it. We were playing it on the Wii.
Was that back when you were living with our Sasquatch friend, or... Is that another time?
No, long time ago.
Okay.
Like, near the end of high school. It was a New Year's party.
Alright.
Yeah, I was downtown. He was like, hey, come over play Silent Hill with me. And I was like, alright, cool. So, he lived, like, right around the corner from the fucking clock tower.
Oh, alright.
So, I was like, alright, cool. But, yeah, we stayed up all night, we played it. I don't think we beat it. We almost beat it, for sure. We did beat it later. But it was a lot of fun. I remember thinking, this is pretty good. This is how you do a remake. And speaking of really good remakes, I said I'd get back to it, didn't I?
Yeah.
There was this movie from a long time ago called Fright Night, with Chris Sarandon playing a vampire, and he moved in next door. And it was they made a lot of funny kids movies based on that premise, but this was definitely an adult movie. And then many years later, and a few years ago, they did a updo or a remake. I
was about to say an updo's a hairstyle.
Updo.
Come on.
I'm just gonna put this up here, put a pin in it. They brought it to life again for a new era, and it got shit on a lot. people were like Colin Farrell's boring. It was Colin Farrell. And it's just it wasn't very funny and blah blah blah. And then so hearing this, right, I wanted to refresh my memory of Fright Night. So I went and I watched my copy of Fright Night.
All right.
Of the original.
Yeah.
And then I went and watched the new one. And I got to tell you, they were incredibly faithful to the original.
That's good.
What they did was they really just updated it.
I will have to give that a watch, both of those.
Yeah, all of the gimmicks and all of the jokes that wouldn't translate, they updated.
Okay.
So they made the references more applicable.
Okay, so...
And I think David Tennant's in it, so... and he's something else in that. Yeah, that was him, yeah.
All right.
He wears, like, leather pants, and he's like a rock star.
Okay. So, where to go from here? So, we just talked...
I was just talking.
Yeah.
Fuck you, man. Where to go from here? Where do we go?
All right. Keep the musical interludes for... Like,
No.
We'll keep the musical interludes for the podcast where a demon puts a curse on all of us and we have to sing.
All right, fair enough.
Okay, so we've done Mortal Kombat.
Let's just not dance. Yeah, we've done Mortal Kombat.
We have done the whole HD.
We've done the HD shit. We're past that.
All right, let's get into the nitty gritty.
All right.
Game delays. How do you feel about game delays?
It really depends on not only the title and not only how long the delay is going to be, but how much I genuinely care about the game.
Fair enough.
Like I remember BioShock Infinite.
Mm-hmm.
It got delayed a lot.
Yeah.
Like they were like, "Oh, it's coming in February. Now it's coming in June. Now it's coming in October." And I'm like, "Okay, can we just get the fucking game out already?" But at the same time, you know that while they're working on this, they're fixing the bugs that they no longer fix.
They're also dumbing down a secondary character.
Yeah.
That's for another time.
So for me,
Friendly Ghost with the most. We haven't heard from him. How do you feel about game delays?
Don't care for him.
No?
Really?
I'm on the side of for them.
I'm on
as
the
long
side
as
of
it's not
for
a
them as
fucking
well.
year.
Okay, that's where you and I have a big contingency problem.
Yeah.
I am willing to wait for a game for as long as it needs to be held back in order to have it work right out of box.
If they don't give me a date, right? If,
Like-
if they don't say coming February 33rd, 2099, right?
Yeah.
If they don't say that, and then when it gets to February 2nd, they say, now it's coming in June 26th. If they just say it's coming, and then occasionally put up a concept art to show they're still working on it,
Yeah.
then I don't care how long it takes. But when they give me a date,
A solid date, and they
I
keep pushing it
expect to
back.
be able to pick it up. And when you move it back, if it's a couple of months, okay. You found some shit you didn't think was there, now it's there, you gotta fix it. No problem.
Yeah.
You get to there, you push it back again, now I'm starting to get pissed off.
I'm fine with, like, okay, recently the new Zelda got pushed back a year.
Yeah.
The new Uncharted got pushed back a year.
Yeah.
I'm fine. That's in my books, that's fine. Because it's been a rough
It's been a rough couple of years for
It's
games.
been a rough year for these two consoles. I would really like, as asinine as this is probably going to sound to those of you listening out there, I would really like for a new game to come out, to just put it in your console, and to not...
You ever hear what happened to that fucking Mad Max game?
No, but...
They teased it for a while, and then it just fucking disappeared.
Maybe it's still in the books somewhere, who knows, it'll surface sometime.
Yeah.
But, like I said, I want games to work as inherently well as they did 2 console gens ago, when you bought it.
Yeah.
Like on the PS2 or the
PS2 games had a bunch of glitches and graphical issues and stuff like that. But I think the point that you want to hammer home here is those games were playable out of the box.
Yeah, there was nothing that could stop progression. There was nothing that could, jam your character. Like, granted, there were glitches.
Yeah,
like
boy, were there ever.
Yeah. Like, I've got PS2 games that will just flat out freeze now, but that's just from overuse.
I've got a copy of Resident Evil 3 for the PlayStation 1 that I cannot play.
Like,
I have played it annually for, like, all of my life.
Yeah, and
only 2 years ago I had to buy it on the PSN because it will not read anymore.
Yeah, like...
But that's from overuse. That's not from horse shit coming out of the container.
I had a used copy of Jack 2.
Yep.
And, like, at the hoverboard section, you had to cross your fingers and hope that by the time you finished those trials, your game was still working, because it would freeze on that cutscene.
Oof.
And depending on where your last save was, that was a lot of work you had to get back.
Yeah.
So when you get to the hoverboards, you would cross your fingers that it would work.
Cross your fingers and fucking hope.
But nowadays, it's like you put in a disc and you cross your fingers that'll fucking load.
Yep.
Isn't that shit?
That's really shitty.
Isn't that total shit? DOA 5 last round.
Yep.
If you didn't patch the hell out of that, and if you picked 2 wrong characters, you were stuck.
Alright, so here's the thing. We've recently added that to the collection for Jam Joints.
Yeah. All them jiggle physics.
All them jiggle physics.
All them lewd costumes.
The lewdest of lewds.
I'm running out of lotion and tissues whenever I feel like it.
Costco. So we've both played it a fair amount, I'd say.
Yeah.
Maybe about an hour and a half.
We'll toss it on whenever
we're
over here. We're just in the middle of a cooldown or a warm up, just to get ready.
So what do you think of it?
It's fun.
Yeah.
Like when somebody's here to play it against.
Yeah.
Or just to see the stupid shit that happens in it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I think my biggest issue, if I had to pick one, is that you could easily call it Dead or Alive, Quick Punch, and Dash Kick the game.
Yeah, that's essentially it, though.
Because all you need is a quick punch and then a double tap dash kick, and you will win the fight.
Yeah,
just keep doing that.
The crit stuns are too real in that.
They are ridiculous.
But that's part of why it's so fun. Because when you have friends over that get super salty, it's just really fun to make them super salty.
Well, it's like whenever I play Injustice, which is a game I don't really like, but I did sink way too much time into because I had nothing else to play.
The only reason you did is because you needed a good Mortal Kombat.
I needed to play Mortal Kombat, and I didn't have Mortal Kombat at the time, so I borrowed a friend's copy of Injustice, which is basically Mortal Kombat 9 with a DC skin.
Yeah.
And
except for Scorpion, because it's fucking Scorpion, and he's already Scorpion,
there. Yeah. His opening cutscene has him in Mortal Kombat, which I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah.
My Harley game for that is just to make people salty.
It is.
That the amount of spamming I can do with those gun attacks from distance and close up is ridiculous.
It's almost as good. Your Lobo game's almost as good.
My Lobo game is almost as good. It's the reloading of the shotgun that's a pain.
What are you doing at the start of the match there? Loading my shotgun 8 times? Why? For this?
Yeah. I think I was fighting Kaz, and he just backed up, and I reloaded like 20 times.
Yeah, and the fight was over at that.
I mean, he's the main man. What can you expect? And I'm not a huge DC person. I feel like I should stress that.
I don't know where I sit with DC. Granted, I own a lot more Marvel comics than DC.
Yeah.
But,
I own more Marvel comics than I do DC, but I've watched more DC
shows
than
I have Marvel.
Like, I watched Spider-Man, Spider-Man Ultimate, and X-Men Evolution. Those are my big 3.
Yeah.
And then I watched, like,
what about
Batman
X-Men,
Beyond.
the animated series?
Oh, well, the original, yeah.
Yeah.
But I was talking just, like, from, 95
but
to 25.
Yeah, I get you. I mean, there's Superman, there's Batman,
yeah.
There's Batman Beyond.
Batman Beyond was awesome.
Underrated Batman. Not Beyond.
Seriously underrated.
But a few years back, when WB started playing The Batman, that was a really good iteration of Batman.
I didn't watch it.
We'll throw it on later tonight.
I remember seeing it, like, commercials for it.
It was just... But yeah, it's like I was saying. So there's Superman, Batman, Batman Beyond, The Batman, freaking Justice League, Justice League Unfucking Limited, goddamn Young Justice, freaking
DC Animated Universe,
Teen Titans,
and now because Marvel has the movie area just on fucking lockdown.
Yeah,
so like, what is it, like 2025? It's some ridiculous number that it's rumored they're going to have movies until.
Yeah, but they're going to have to dig so deep into Marvel lore.
Into Marvel lore that we're gonna get like random like I don't even want to think
by the end of it all they need
and then like but what I'm saying is like they've got the movie market
they've got it so locked down.
What was the last
they've got it locked down enough that they're able to take Spider-Man away from Sony.
But I mean this is Disney we're talking about here at the same time. They've got more money than anybody. They have like the world's 3rd largest naval fleet.
Hey.
Isn't that fucked up?
Disney's got a naval fleet?
Well, it's just their cruise liners.
Oh, wow.
But it's the 3rd largest fleet.
That's amazing.
I remember hearing about that a couple years ago, and I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Has the stats changed? I want to check this later.
We'll check this later. But I could not believe the first time I heard that. But because they have that market, that corner, the movies on just... just if they're there, it's Marvel. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
DC has partnered with WB
And they've
or
got
CW.
they're getting TV shows on lockdown.
Yeah, they've got Arrow, they've got Flash,
Gotham,
Wonder Woman
is coming.
is coming, and I think there's one for Batgirl and Power Girl, maybe.
Still no Martian Manhunter show or movies, so I'm done.
Come on, and
Give me some Jean.
Marvel's trying to break into the TV game now as well. I mean, not just now, because they've had Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. since the end of the first Avengers movie, which is a show that I didn't like. And they have Agent Carter, which is all right.
Personally, for me, since I grew up on superhero cartoons, I find it so unsettling to see actors play superheroes outside of movies.
Like on TV shows?
Like on TV shows, I cannot get behind it. I can't get behind Arrow or Flash or Gotham. I feel like I'd have more fun watching them if they were animated.
Yep.
Because you could draw the character how, like there's an artist representation of the character and their take on it.
When you look at comic books, characters are supposed to look a certain way.
Yeah,
and you can't necessarily find that in an actor all the time.
Yeah, it's like with Arrow, it's like, okay, you've got a dude that sort of looks like him and sort of acts like him, but there's just something unsettling about it. Yeah, it's I can't get behind it. Like, I could totally be there if it was a cartoon.
Yeah.
But,
I've heard nothing but good things about Arrow.
Like, Kaz, you've watched it. How is it?
I've only watched the first episode. It's okay.
I mean, they've got...
Okay, but here's the question. At the end of the first episode, did you want to watch the second one?
I kept telling myself I would watch it, but never got around to
Okay,
it.
that's the sign then.
So there you go.
Then it would not be for me.
Like, when you watch a show, when you watch the pilot of a show, by the end of it, your immediate reaction should be, where's episode 2?
Yeah.
Because when I was watching it, and when it opens up, some spoilers, and
not really spoilers, it's been
on
going
the
for
island,
a while.
It's on the island, and this is after Queen's undergone his training for all those years.
Yeah.
And you see, like, the fucking Deathstroke mask, just like with an arrow in it. And I'm like, oh shit, that's what he was doing. Okay, I know what they're doing. And then it goes back to... Oh, fuck.
And then,
I forgot where Green Arrow is based. Some city.
Oh, it goes back to where he's, the millionaire playboy.
Billionaire.
Yeah.
He's essentially analogous to Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. Where it goes back...
to Batman life.
Exactly.
He's
like just well, I can't really relate to that. That's also why I enjoy Marvel much more than DC.
Most of the characters are...
They're super relatable.
They're super relatable. A lot of them are the come-from-nothing type of character.
Yeah.
And that makes them more relatable for me, and us subsequently.
That's what I like
as an average Joe.
It's like, that is why Spider-Man, in most iterations, will always be my favorite hero.
Yeah. Spider-Man was a big deal for me when I was a kid. I loved Spider-Man, and then Spider-Man Ultimate, the TV show that only lasted like a season.
Spider-Man Unlimited, 13 episodes.
Yeah, sorry, not Ultimate, Unlimited, yeah.
Yeah, that thing got snuffed out by Pokemon so fast.
Space and fought furries. How could you not love it?
The cliffhanger to that show hurts me to this day. There he is, fucking just Spider-Man, Eddie Brock, and fucking...
Vulture.
No, not Vulture, but
was on the planet.
No, but just all like the allies he'd made. Episode 13, Carnage goes apeshit and releases a bunch of symbiotes on the planet that they're on, and it ends there.
Oh,
it's like you don't know.
Yeah, and Spider-Man is a series that they've tried so many times to make us like, oh yeah, more Spider-Man. Like we have the original trilogy with Tobey Maguire. We have the 2 movies with Garfield.
I didn't hate Garfield. I did not hate Garfield.
I have a very strong opinion on the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
Second one, the only thing I liked in it was Jamie Foxx's performance.
Yes, Jamie Foxx was super good.
That was the only thing I liked in that movie.
Here's what I think
I hated Rhino.
Yeah, here's what I think.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen the second one?
I didn't know fucking Rhino was in it.
Not for long.
He gets hit with a fucking sewage cutter.
Shut up!
Yeah, but freaking, what was it? You know how to this date I will defend this with my life that Michael Keaton is the best Batman and Christian Bale is the best Bruce Wayne?
Yep.
I'm saying Garfield is a really damn good Spider-Man.
And Tobey Maguire is a really good Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Tobey Maguire made a great Peter Parker. He was nerdy and dorky and was kind of awkward.
Yeah.
And that's what the type
At least
of Peter they were
at least
going
in
for.
1 and 3, because 2 he was a shitbag.
And well, in 3 he had the awkward dance scene that nobody wanted.
No, it was 2 was the
3
dance
was-
scene.
No, it was 3.
Was it
It was
3?
3.
3 was
Oh.
the one with the suit and Sandman.
Oh.
2 was Doc Ock. 1 was the Green Goblin.
Oh, yeah.
And
But yeah.
the first one, Green Goblin, I loved it. I,
It was fucking.
The only thing it didn't have was the Green Goblin shitting in somebody's head. Great!
Oh, sorry. What?
Green Goblin.
This isn't Leprechaun 3. We can stop this now.
But yeah, I think Andrew Garfield played a terrible, terrible Peter Parker. There was at no point
He played
where
a
he wasn't
really
Spider-Man.
moody Peter Parker.
Yeah. Well, for me, during the movie from start to finish, there was at no point where he wasn't Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you remember in like the original shows, or our original shows rather,
Yeah, Parker
And-
had to deal with shit.
Parker had to deal with a lot of shit. So, like, when he put the mask on, it wasn't just becoming Spider-Man. It was kind of venting through all that shit. So he was snarky, and he was backtalky.
There was, like,
he was
one-liners.
witty, one-liners, and
There was
Peter
just-
in the Amazing Spider-Man is doing that constantly.
Yeah.
Also, I do have to say the first movie, I got to give it major props for Martin Sheen playing Uncle Ben,
Yeah.
Yes.
because I am sick and tired of watching Uncle Ben die, and that scene was awesome.
Uncle Ben did die, though.
No, I'm sick and tired of seeing it over and over.
Yeah.
But that scene was awesome. Like I going into it, I was like, great, I get to watch Uncle Ben die again, and I was like, oh wow, okay,
This is actually well done.
this is actually pretty well done.
Sony, did you not shit the... Oh, wait, there it is.
Yeah, I see it. There's the big steaming pile of Duke right there. And any scene where he was being Spider-Man,
Yeah.
like supposed to be being Spider-Man, like fucking with the carjacker and pulling the door closed, and
Yeah.
like that was straight Spidey.
That
And
is.
that made me laugh. But then it was romantic subplots and blah blah blah, blah blah blah. blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
And I'm
I
like-
killed Gwen Stacy.
That's later. That's later. They don't know yet.
Was it the Green Goblin that killed her originally?
God. It was like some sort of fuck up with a fight with the goblin.
I
Yeah.
remember
Where he
very-
goes to save her, but he
Then he
doesn't
beefs
quite
it.
make it.
Yeah,
Like, he beefs it on his web swing, and Stacy gets a good 3 feet of bounce.
yeah. A good 3 feet of bounce.
Just a good whoom. And for a second you think, she's fine, the web... No, that's blood coming out of every hole on her body.
yeah, but now she's Spider-Man.
Spider-Gwen, I need to read that. I need to see how that one turned out. Because apparently it's super popular enough that Platinum wants to make a game.
Really?
Yeah, the guys behind Bayo, Wonderful 101, Revengeance.
See, I didn't like Bayo. It just felt like a sloppy Devil May Cry clone.
It is a sloppy Devil May Cry, but it's got tits.
So does Devil May Cry.
Yeah, but these got tits.
Have you seen
that
Dante's bra?
Yeah.
Moving on.
I'm sorry, I was too distracted by all those belts. But felt like I was playing
They're
Final
holster
Fantasy.
straps. Okay.
Okay. Moving right along. But no, like, I totally hear you on that. Like, they need to find somebody who could do a good Parker. I don't
Yeah.
even care if they hire 2 different people. Like, one to do Parker and one to do Spider-Man.
Did you ever watch the original Incredible Hulk show?
Like, they,
Yeah.
whoever...
With Bixby and Frigno?
yeah.
Like, 2 completely different people, but it worked so well.
Like, what they need to do is, like, they need to get somebody to do a Batman movie, and they just need to call up Michael Keaton and say, hey, we need you for Batman. Put down the line. Call up Christian Bale and say, hey, we need you for Bruce Wayne. And you don't tell either of them until the first day on set when they meet. And they're both like, what the fuck? I was playing Batman. And the director just comes over and is like, no, Keaton, you're Batman.
You're Bruce
Bale's
Wayne.
Wayne. This is how we're doing it. There's enough CG on the planet to make that happen.
Well, what about with George Clooney? He was a really good Batman.
You know what? We'll get Clooney to play Alfred and everybody will be happy.
You know, I want to keep Kane as Alfred.
Yeah.
He was fantastic as Alfred.
He's fantastic as sensible Alfred. If we wanted snarky, overt British
Yes,
Alfred, we need to
master.
find somebody else.
Can we get Jason Statham? That'd be...
No.
he would just be secretly badass the whole time.
Let's just get Michael McDonald to play Alfred in the next one.
That was Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah, Malcolm McDowell to play Alfred in the next one.
We laugh. But I would probably go see that.
I would see that movie like so many times just for that.
McDowell was the one thing I will give the Rob Zombie Halloween abhorrent piece of trash. The gag reel is just 10 minutes of him fucking around on set.
Because you can't, when you're an actor of that caliber, that's what you do.
I genuinely feel like even he couldn't take that piece of tripe seriously.
This was a man that was in Caligula.
Oh god, don't remind me of Caligula.
No, for those of you out there that haven't seen it,
not.
I need you to go into Google and search Caligula and then watch it.
No,
And
don't
with the
watch
first
it.
one that comes out is by Penthouse, you're looking at the right one.
Don't.
And no, it's not supposed to be a porno.
No, it's not, but boy is it.
Is it ever? History class.
Yeah, I still can't believe you got a copy of that from a history teacher.
I brought it up in class. I asked her if we'd ever get to watch it, and she just laughed at me. And the next day, she brought it in, so I don't want this anymore.
I've been waiting for somebody to ask so I could give them this movie.
And then, I gave it away as well. I
would-
think that's just a movie that it just moves from person to person.
Yeah. My God.
That's a fucking movie. God damn it.
This-
Don't watch it.
Unless, you're really...
Unless you really want to see Malcolm McDowell's ass.
I mean, who doesn't?
I personally don't.
Kaz doesn't. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. The
Look,
ghost of Kaz's movie does
if
not want
we
to see
could
Malcolm.
see-
Malcolm McDowell, if you could please tweet at one of us a picture of your butt so we can
Look.
show it to Kaz.
Look, we've all sat through... Oh, fuck. What was the movie? Come on. Damn it. I'll remember the title later, but we've all seen Viggo Mortensen's Wang. We could stand Michael McDowell's ass, alright?
Eastern Promises.
There we go. Eastern Promises.
Eastern Promises.
We've seen...
God, that was a great movie, though.
I just had to remember that.
We have seen his dick.
Do you just have
fine.
like a dick database? Like up in your head there?
You spend enough time on the internet,
Based
you
on
get
the
one too.
curvature.
Based on the curvature, I'd say that's Viggo Mortensen. Wait, is it circumcised? I don't... Let's run a vein check.
How many
There's
pubic
only
hairs
been
does
a
it have?
handful of dicks on screen at any one time. You can literally count them on.
You know,
one hand.
I recently watched the first Terminator movie
Yeah.
again, and there's this scene where
he's walking up
when
to
he
the car.
and you can see
You
his
see it, it's
schlong
just like-
slapping. It's just flapping like. I was like, you can't see it because it's dark lit, but you see the light beckoning off of his schlong, and you're like,
I do CrossFit with my penis.
CrossFit wasn't around it. It's like,
see me throw a racquetball?
it's like 25 years too early for CrossFit.
will bench press, yeah,
Watch me shot put.
yeah.
We went from Malcolm McDowell's ass to Viggo Mortensen's dick.
And you want to know the fucked up part about this? We started on whether games should be delayed or not.
And now we're on Arnie's flapping penis.
Bill Paxton.
And I think
as
that's a good
an
place to
80s
end.
shit punk.
Yeah, I think our podcast is coming to a close.
Okay.
We're gonna end on Arnie's wiener.
Yeah, just have that in your mind.
Just listen.
We need Terminator Genesis if you're listening, because I know movies can listen. We just need a scene of Arnold Schwarzenegger, currently old and flabby and governor of California.
Not governor anymore.
Or, well, something.
No,
Former political
he's no
head.
longer the governor.
Well, we just need Arnold Schwarzenegger just banging a chick. Just as much of it as possible in Genesis.
Whoa!
Just as much as possible
He
in
just
Genesis.
needs to walk by naked. That's, and even that, I'm not, because he's, yeah.
But, please,
Uh,
if you've liked any of what you've heard for this past God knows how long.
Or if you have any questions about anything we've said, or something we said we were going to come back to and didn't, you can tweet those questions to me and Shibuya Station J on Twitter. I am at Devious47.
And I am at Chef Germs21. Long story, I'll explain it later.
Because you're a cook, right?
Fuck off.
Did you make your Twitter when you were 21? You fucking
No.
didn't? No.
It is because you're a cook, right?
It's because you cook, and it's Jay and 21. Thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah, fuck off, all of you. And remember, please, watch our videos.
Thumbs up, like, subscribe.
Show your friends.
Share.
Show random people.
Yeah, just walk with people on the bus.
Yeah, whatever you could do. Peace out, guys.
Bye.
Bye.